Something in the property.
But who knows where?
Who knows where? That's just it. They've checked the restroom, the kitchen, the water heater, and there's no leaks anywhere.
How can a single man use that much money in water, which is impossible?
Several companies and charities have offered to help.
They didn't hesitate to jump in on this.
We are so grateful. We were very happy. We were floored. We were really ecstatic about the whole thing.
This is the 100-year-old sink that Jesse has had, so we built everything to kind of work within that.
It needed a lot of demo work to be able to bring it back to decent shape for him to live in. Now that I see it like this is just great.
I think more people should do this. I mean, you have somebody that's in dire need.
I believe there is a God, and I think God stepped in to help Jesse. You know, he served this country. He's a veteran.
Come on, let's go inside.
What started as a high water bill investigation turned into an outpouring of compassion, construction, and hope. In true Houston fashion, our viewers, many of you, saw a need and stepped up to help. Hundreds of hours of hard labor in the brutal summer heat, months of work, dozens of volunteers teamed up to completely renovate and restore a Korean War veteran's lifelong home, joining forces for Jesse. We want to start at the beginning to show you how we first met Jesse Latta. It's something many of you can relate to. He was confused and frustrated about his huge water bill.
Oh, man.
91-year-old Jesse Latta lives alone in the same Houston house he grew up in and raised his own kids in. The only period in his life he didn't live here was when he served in the U.S. Navy, fighting in the Korean War in the 1950s.
And we won. So here I am, still alive.
Yeah.
And I thank God for that.
And he wants to live in his own house. He doesn't want to live anywhere else.
But Latta's niece, Betty Gonzalez, worries her uncle's growing water bill will force him out.
Every month it's like $400, $500. He lives here alone. He hardly doesn't use any water, so I knew there was a problem.
How can a single man use that much money in water, which is impossible?
Here's a meter.
To find out how,
There it is.
we asked John Moore to check Latta's old house for leaks.
That will cause a high water bill.
They found one on an outside faucet.
Definitely have to take care of this.
And they fixed it for free. But the red dial on Latta's meter kept spinning, indicating water was still leaking somewhere the plumber could not see.
It's a big job. It's a really big job.
The estimate to dig up and replace his 100-year-old water line came in at $4,000.
That's a lot of money. I don't have it.
Maybe it was the picture. Maybe it was the veteran hashtag. All I can tell you is that when I posted Jesse Latta's story on Facebook, it got more than 72,000 likes. And it got the attention of 24/7 Plumbing Company out of Katy.
Obviously, plumbing is very expensive. A lot of people can't afford it.
But Latta didn't have to pay a dime. 24/7 Plumbing Company repiped his entire home, replacing these old, rusty, galvanized water pipes with PEX. They made sure his gas lines were in good shape and replaced his old water heater.
Would you like a ramp to walk down?
The restoration team, a network of Houston congregations that got together after Hurricane Harvey to help families rebuild, has pledged to make repairs inside and outside Latta's home.
A healthy, complete home impacts everything in someone's life, whether it's their physical health, their mental health, the community around them.
Comcast got Latta credits on his cable bill and installed this brand new TV in his living room. The Harris County Veterans Services Department paid down his water bill and paid his $700 gas bill. Neighbors stepping up to help Latta, who stepped up so many years ago.
We were just overwhelmed by the outreach of people that were willing to come in and help Jesse with this. He was so happy because he couldn't use his washing machine. I was taking his clothes to go wash it at my house. And the other day we put towels in there, we were washing, and he was just so happy.
That story was only the beginning. When the restoration team started the repairs they offered to do, they found other hazards in Jesse's home. And they didn't feel right leaving projects unfinished, things that put Jesse's health at risk. So they stayed working for 5 months.
Oh, man.
With him being a man that served our country for so long, to be able to pay that back, to help serve him now in his greatest time of need is something that we are really passionate about. We use volunteers and donated materials to make homes safe, sanitary, and secure.
We are so grateful. We were very happy. We were floored. We were really ecstatic about the whole thing.
You walk around a house, and a lot of times until you start pulling things apart, you don't know that there's rotted flooring, termite damage, water damage, windows that don't properly open, windows that simply aren't sealed, that there are huge gaps around the windows.
He didn't have windows. You know, he had sometimes not even plywood, it was just cardboard up. It was over 90 degrees inside the house. He's 92 years old. He doesn't need to be in a house without windows like that.
We work with volunteer groups from really all over. We have a great group of local individuals here that come out during the week. And then we do have a group of students from Dallas. They're kicking off our summer volunteer program where we host primarily churches from really around the country. We have groups from California, North Carolina, Wyoming, Washington, Colorado, Oklahoma, you name it. People just get connected with us and help serve those in need here in Houston.
Is this you?
Yeah, I remember. Yes, that's about Japan. That's where I was stationed.
Mr. Laura really reminds me of my grandfather when he would tell me and my cousins stories about when he served in the Air Force back in the 50s.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool seeing like you're doing the work, but you see exactly who benefits from it.
I've been really involved with like history for all my life, so it's really cool meeting somebody who's actually served in a war and part of history.
It's not just helping Jesse, it's helping fellow Houstonians take part in helping their community. Those gentlemen you'll see when we walk in the kitchen, those are all neighbors of Jesse's that are volunteering their time, you know, once, twice a week to come out and work in these conditions to help their neighbor.
We do work somewhat with donated materials. It's one of our biggest expenses, just the raw materials going into it. Flooring, windows, drywall, and those sort of things. We just finished taking out all the cabinets here, and we're moving the water heater outside, just so it is a little safer. We can clean up all that mold there, and it just adds a little more room.
We're going to build a new cabinetry around this old metal sink, so we're going to put that back in. The fabricators that are making the cabinets, they're doing a color scheme that'll match up this. So it'll be something that Jesse's had around, that he's walked to the kitchen sink for decades to wash his hands or whatever. That'll still be a part of the kitchen when we move forward.
Our elderly are often forgotten about. They get into homes that they've been in for 40, 50 years, and we forget to check in on them.
We're making so much progress, but at the same time, it's hard for me, you know, my heart really hurts for him. It hurts to understand that he was living in these conditions, in such bad conditions for so long, and you know why. So I get a lot of satisfaction from this job, being able to even just do little things like clean up in here, you know, rip off a baseboard, whatever. It makes a monumental difference in his life.
He's been in this home forever. He doesn't want to go someplace else.
No, he does not want to move. He does not want to move. He does not want to go to a nursing home. I had no idea there were so many people, nice people out there that were willing to help Jesse.
There's a long list of people that are still displaced from everything from the winter storm all the way back to Hurricane Allison. I mean, there's still just a lot of families and individuals that don't know where to go or have asked and asked and asked. And there's a ton of organizations that do what we do. We're not alone in this. It takes the whole community. But we just can't forget about those that haven't been able to access the assistance they need.
You know, if you have some skills or you want to learn some skills, some general carpentry skills, we have a spot for you here. We would love to bring you on board with we call them the crew. They're all 65 to our oldest is 79 years old.
And that's, I think, the best part about it is just seeing how you can take something and people that have so little, they're just so frustrated with their living condition and very little power to do anything about it. And we can come in and really make some meaningful change to where they have hope again.
You can probably tell the restoration team has had a little practice making repairs. Since Hurricane Harvey, the team has restored and repaired more than 400 homes for Houstonians just like Jesse, who had no way to do the work themselves. They work entirely off donations, grants, and volunteers. On click2houston.com, we are linking you to their website where you can donate, sign up to volunteer, or request help. When we come back, the steady drip of kindness that filled Jesse's home and our hearts.
He just seems like he needs it. He's 91. Today, we will be cleaning the fence line all around the house, inside and out. That's our main goal. He's got ticketed from the city for that, so we're gonna eliminate that, both sides, neighbors as well. We're gonna weed eat, we're gonna mow, we're gonna clean up as much as we can. Just give his yard a good makeover. He's got a lot of help in other ways, but just the simple things like the lawn, the fence line.
Ted Ludwig of Grass Knuckles Lawn Care in Conroe saw Jesse's story online and made the drive to Houston to help. Lotta has received code violations from the city of Houston for high grass and weeds, but he wasn't able to keep the property mowed by himself. His niece, Betty, broke the blade on her lawnmower when she ran over tree roots mowing his lawn. The Grass Knuckles Lawn Care team mowed and cleared all of the overgrowth and poison ivy off Lotta's fence, and they hauled all of it away. Ludwig said he wanted to do his part to say thank you to Lotta for his service to our country. One by one, small businesses saw Jesse's story and reached out to help. Keep in mind, when these mom and pop businesses take time to volunteer to help with a project like this, it usually means they're not making any money while they're volunteering their time. Just like electrician Jason Aguilar, who completely rewired Jesse Lotta's entire home.
Everything is brand new. We did the whole house.
Upton Electrical Contracting paid for all of the supplies and permits.
This is the main guy with done most of the work in this house.
Electrician Jason Aguilar worked here for 2 weeks with his son to get the job done, neither of whom had ever met Jesse Lotta.
But the more I got into the house, I started seeing his pictures. It was bad, but No, I seen the pictures, and his pictures, my dad was also in the Navy. So I figured if my dad was still here, I would want somebody to do it for him. And I just, like I said, that's what hit my heartstrings, was the pictures of his family, and it looked just like what my grandparents had. And that's why I did it. I mean, it's just, you got to pass it on, you know. If I'm blessed to be having the things I have, other people ain't. So I have to. That's just what I do. I mean, this isn't the first one I've done. I've done quite a few. So that's why I did it. That's why I do what I do, is because I'm thankful for the things I got. So I gotta pass it on, you know.
Jason found out about the need from Rick Blevins with the Texas State Militia.
I was tagged by a girl that does photography a lot for us, and so she tagged me, knowing I was a Marine, and because he's a veteran, I responded to the tag and started getting into conversation. Our phone's been blowing up all week long. You know, hey, how can we help? How can we help? But really, there's, you know, only so many guys can get under the house or into the attic.
Boots for Troops out of Tomball brought Jesse food and a portable AC. Houston veteran Michael Main set up a GoFundMe page for Jesse that has raised nearly $4,000.
I'm not big on tooting my own horn or trying to get publicity. I just saw somebody that needed help and I wanted to help out.
Jeremy Cover owns Cover HVAC in Magnolia. He lives next door to 24/7's Mike Dater. After they repiped the whole home, Cover came out to check Jesse's AC system.
When I came in and saw the condition of the AC alone, I couldn't imagine how he was sleeping in the house, especially with Houston summers the way they are. It was shocking.
Cover donated a brand new AC and put in all new ductwork along with a new programmable thermostat.
The restoration team said some 300 volunteers helped with Jesse's home from June until November, working more than 1,500 hours. And we are so grateful that you stepped up in such a big way. When we come back, the big reveal. We were there the day Jesse Lotta got to move back in to his brand new home.
Oh, he is walking. Praise the Lord.
With a pep in his step,
Look at your stairs, Jesse.
92-year-old Jesse Lotta made his way up this sidewalk.
Hello, everyone.
To the near Northside Houston house he's called home nearly his entire life. A couple dozen visitors were waiting for him.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Volunteers who've spent the last 5 months gutting and restoring Jesse's home. Hot, back-breaking, strenuous work. And it all started with a phone call for help from his niece, Betty.
I saw you on TV and you were, I think other people were reaching out to you about their bill.
Jesse's water bill was thousands of dollars and past due. But to get to the bottom of it, we needed to investigate.
When we first came over, you said, "Oh, do you have to go inside?" We interviewed Jesse sitting on his porch on the chair, and then we interviewed you on the porch. But then when we got a plumber, we said, "Okay, well, we want to get video of the plumber checking it out." And you're like, "Do you really have to come in here?" Why? I mean,
his house is so dated and so deteriorated. You know, it was overwhelming. It was beyond anything I could have done.
Most of his floors were just plywood, cardboard covered windows to keep the heat out. One bathroom was completely unusable. 24/7 plumbing tackled not only the leak that was causing Jesse's big bills, the Katie Company repiped his entire house.
I think more people should do this. I mean, you have somebody that's in dire need.
At about the same time, Houston nonprofit The Restoration Team and other businesses were signing on to help, Jesse got sick and had to go to the hospital. While he worked to get healthy, crews worked to restore his more than 100-year-old home. So this was his first time back inside.
Look at your bedroom over here.
What? Is that my bedroom?
Jesse's room before was dark and cluttered. Now it's bright and open, like every room in his home.
Oh. Ah, darn.
He can now easily move around his kitchen.
New refrigerator?
Everything is brand new, except this original sink. Volunteers made the new cabinets to fit it.
Can't believe this. Thank God and thank all of you. Darn. I never expected something like this.
Room by room, Jesse saw his new old home.
I'll be darned.
Thanking volunteers who thanked him right back.
We thank you so much for what you did for our country and for all of us, because that you served, we are all here today too.
This simple post on Facebook got the attention of Boots for Troops.
I saw the post and I sent it directly to our founder, Jimmy, and actually he replied back. He goes, "Joe just sent me the same post." He goes, "Find out what we can do, how we can help."
The Texas State Militia.
I'm a Navy veteran myself, so as soon as I heard that, I knew I needed to be here.
To be able to give that back to him is just a remarkable thing, and it's a blessing.
Jeremy Cover of Cover HVAC.
When they came home, we're not treated the best, so they didn't get a lot of recognition, so it's a high time we paid them back for that.
And of course, the restoration team.
He was very appreciative of any work that we had done for him. He didn't expect this, and he's overwhelmed right now, but he would have been fine if I would have showed up and swept his front walk.
Volunteers built this wheelchair ramp. They rewired his entire home, insulated walls, put in new sheetrock, painted, replaced all of his flooring, all 18 windows, and installed a brand new HVAC system.
All I want to do is thank you all folks for doing this for me, and God bless all of you and your families.
The joy we get out of being able to see Jesse coming back to the house and seeing the surprise on his face makes it all worthwhile.
It's amazing what we can all do when we come together.
It kind of gave me a shock when I saw how different, and then when I walk in here, everything is different.
Different good?
Hard to believe. Yeah, I love it.
I'm just so grateful and thankful for everybody that stepped in to help Jesse. He's gonna live now in comfort like never before, and with dignity, you know, and safely. I believe there is a God, and I think God stepped in to help Jesse.
And that is Houston. While working with Jesse, we realized he wasn't utilizing all of the veteran resources available to him. You can find a list of those resources on our website. None of this would be possible without all of the volunteers who donated materials, money, and so much time. If you would like to give any of these businesses your business or donate to any of the organizations that helped, you'll find links to all of them on click2houston.com.